Good morning, everyone. Looks like some people are still trying to get logged in here, so give it a couple more minutes. I think we can get started. Some people try to join in a little bit after, we can let them in. Um, so I'm Cassandra Robledo, and I'm joined today with Sarah Johnson. She's our media coordinator, and I'm the media coordinator, sorry. She's a communication specialist. And we're giving a presentation on earned media at NSU. It's kind of just an overview of how you as faculty, staff, or students can utilize our resources from our communication and marketing department to share NSU story with the world, whether that be internally or external audiences. Kind of we do a little bit of everything. Um, so like I said, I'm Cassandra Robledo. I'm the media coordinator, joined with Sarah Johnson, our communication specialist, and you may have already know Jennifer Zender, our director of communications and marketing. She is here, but I don't believe she'll be saying anything. She might join in a little bit, but um, she is here. And so we can begin. So what is earned media? Earned media refers to any material written or shared with you, your business, organization, program, any accolades, a little bit of everything that you have not paid for. Some examples are word of mouth, press coverage, social media mentions, company reviews, and third-party blog posts and newsletters. So industry experts do recommend that many communications and marketing departments utilize a very range of earned media and paid media, owned media, um, just to really get the message across. So like I said, paid media is also one. It refers to marketing coverage such as advertisements on social media, radio, billboards, or newspapers. And then there's also owned media, which refers to online property owned and controlled by our brand, such as website or social media. There are a little bit of benefits also to website and social media. I won't go into really any major details of those. But social media versus website is very right, big range. I mean, we've just seen with TikTok, it's easily taken away. Social media isn't as controlled as our website, which is why a lot of our press releases will actually tie back into our website just to have that extra boost. And so that's why we also like our web pages to be updated with current information, just so that people can get the right information from the right source. Um, so some advantages of earned media is it lends credibility to a business or product. It can be a huge deal for getting buy-in from your target audiences. So consider, Google reviews or blog reviews. If you're going to go to a new restaurant, you're going to check the reviews because you don't want to go to if it has 1 stars. I mean, it's kind of leads back into that. It can be far-reaching. So earned media allows your story to be viewed by many people. The more people who share your story, the more that see it. So for example, a lot of our press releases will say it gets picked up by Fox 23 News. Well, then they're going to post it on their social media. They'll post it on their website. And if we're lucky, we'll also get to be on TV, whether that be, one of our people out there actually speaking to a reporter, or them just speaking on the topic themselves, as part of the information that we released. And So this kind of touches on backlinking a little bit, which like kind of same thing as social media. I'm not going to get too far into it, but backlinking links our websites, um, other than our own to our page on our website, if that makes sense. So this helps because it helps us rank higher in SEO engines like Google. It's limited to our target audience. Our paid media is limited to your target audience. So if we can rank higher on Google, the better, because most people aren't going to scroll past that third or fourth link when you Google something. And then, like I said, paid media is limited to your target audience. So newspapers are limited to their specific locations. If we have an ad in the Tahlequah newspaper, it's not going to get further than just Tahlequah. And then it's also cost effective. Unlike paid advertising, you're not paying someone to promote a product or service. It's all from your internal. So our department are the ones that are creating the product or the service or whatever it could be and getting the news out. So from there, we'll go into the disadvantages of earned media. There are some disadvantages, unfortunately, but it's kind of comes with it. So lack of control. There's no guarantee that others are going to be interested in what news we're putting out there and what news you're trying to promote. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean, other people are going to be. So if it doesn't get picked up, which has happened, they're just not interested in it or they're not going to see it. So we have to see how we can appeal to different audiences. And there's also no control on the timing of when something gets picked up. If we send out a press release, it may not get picked up that same day, which is why we also like to have the extra time from when an event is going to happen. So if you could get us the information a month or two in advance, we would love that. So that way we can get everything out as needed. And then also not all coverage is going to be positive. It kind of ties back into the control aspect. We don't know how something is going to be portrayed. We could send out the best press release out in the world and they're going to pick out 3 words and run with it. So, sorry. I swallowed wrong, my bad. Um, at times, it won't be, oh my goodness. I don't know what happened to my voice. Sorry, everybody. Um, at times, oh my gosh, my voice is still going. It won't be because of anything that's gone wrong or incorrect on our end. It's just kind of how the news is picked up. Uh, let's see. And missed a slide there. So creating content that's worth sharing is very important. There's 7 factors to this, which involves relevance, timeliness, impact, and novelty. And I'll kind of speak into a little bit of these. Relevance is obviously how relevant is the information going to be to our target audience. With algorithms, if we put something out there that's Taylor Swift related and you're not a Taylor Swift fan, you're probably not going to see it. So we do like to have the relevance aspect to things out there. Timeliness, how quickly did something go out? If we cover an event and we want to get a press release out after the event, that's going to need to go out within those first 24 hours because news becomes old very quickly. So we have to maximize the message that we're sending out at the appropriate time. The impact that it causes, does this have ramifications for the target audience? Are people going to show interest if something, if it directly impacts them, that's what they want to see. An example of this would be politics. Not everybody loves politics, but it directly impacts you, so you're probably going to read it regardless. And then there's novelty. So something peculiar that people would be drawn to. There's a strange human satisfaction that we get from things that are out of the ordinary. There's a cliche that goes, the dog bites man, but it's also, that's not as interesting as man bites dog. And especially if you put the word Florida in front of there, then typically people are going to read that. And then we've got prominence. So is someone noteworthy involved? Noteworthy individuals are already going to have that following and interest from the general public. So say the President of the United States comes to Tulsa, or if we're lucky to Tahlequah, that's a prominent figure that's going to get picked up, and it's going to, the news for that is going to be above anything else that we'll probably put out that day. Conflict. Is there something going on? Kind of like the novelty aspect. We want drama. We want to hear about drama. That goes into psychology, and I'm not going to go into that, but that's kind of one of the other factors. And human interest. Are we adding any specific interest to that kind of ties back to yourself? So I'm first generation Mexican American, first generation college student. If there's something that I can relate to, I'm going to more than likely read that, especially if it's a feel-good piece. And then knowing your audience. So when it comes to earned media, it's about getting the right message in front of the right people at the right time. Understanding that there are people whose interests and media habits will boost the likely success of earned media campaigns. So we want to make sure that we have your target audience in mind at all times. Our department works with a diverse group of audiences. So on the external side, there's students, parents, alumni, donors, and the general public. And then students also tie into our internal audience, as well as faculty and staff. And then, so from there, we'll talk about choosing the right medium. It depends on your content and target audience. The best medium to maximize earned media can vary. And it depends, like I said, back to your target audience. Sometimes they might be a more specialized group of experts in a field. So some specialty publications and trade journals, that would be the best out or medium to use. We have, which I'll speak into it a little bit here in a second, our other publications, but optometry. That's going to be a specialty publication because we're not going to put their news into a nursing magazine or any sort of topic that's not relevant to that. On-air television and radio appearances. Normally when we send out a press release, we would love to get picked up by television. It doesn't always happen, or by radio, but sometimes we do get those reporters that are interested in learning more about what we're putting out there. And then more of our internal audiences will receive news through NSU Tube and Riverhawks Weekly, which Sarah will talk about here in a few. And then our publications, like I spoke about a little bit. So we have imprints, annual report, president's report, and full scope. And there's also another one not listed, the American Indian Profile. And so obviously full scope and the American Indian Profile are more targeted audiences. They're more niche, as opposed to imprints, which honestly, all these publications are fairly niche. Imprints will go more to our alumni and donors, and then annual report and president's report will most likely go to like state representatives to kind of keep them updated on what's going on at NSU. And from there, I will actually turn it over to Sarah.
Thank you, Cass. So she so beautifully explained everything that we do, but I'm going to build upon that just a bit. So how can we tell NSU's story? So before we get into discussing how you can help tell NSU's story, let me back up and explain just a bit more about our role as part of the communications and marketing team. The Office of Communications and Marketing is tasked with promoting Northeastern State University's story to targeted audiences through a variety of mediums, as Cass told us. So the office also acts as a steward of the NSU brand and strategically manages communication regarding programs and activities both internally and externally. So we really need you guys to tell us about the work going on in your areas for us to be able to share it. So many of us are new to NSU or just unfamiliar with what other programs do, other departments, etc. And while we have tried to reach out and be proactive in getting people to think about sharing their stories, that can only take us so far. So you guys really are an instrumental part of the NSU storytelling mission that we have. So continued, we need you all. One second, please. We need you all to tell us about research and grants, immersive learning experiences, certifications, micro-credentials, achievements of students, faculty, staff, or alumni. Everyone is important. And notable speakers and events. Anything that you all consider newsworthy and that we may also consider newsworthy. Of course, when you send your stories to us, we will go through them and see which mediums are best for those stories. So if faculty, and this is how it works, if faculty, staff, or administrators are interested in getting help with generating media coverage about a program, event, or achievement, they are encouraged to contact the member of the media relations team, sending an email to us or to submit a story idea, which we have a link here. Tip using the request form. It is important to provide us with as much information as possible to share your story in a timely manner. So, for example, if you're submitting a story on behalf of other people or sources, we will need you to share the necessary contact information. So, if it's an event, time, date, location, of course, why is the event significant? Who are your audience members? Who are the people that you're inviting to that event, etc. So, our team members will work with members of the NSU community to coordinate publicity or visibility for programs, events, or newsworthy issues. This includes working on press releases, requesting additional creative services such as photos, videos, invitations as necessary, and pushing on university affiliated social media accounts. Similarly, faculty, staff, and administrators contacted by the media are strongly encouraged to notify the department, which can then help and track media requests. It also gives us a chance to build relationships with reporters so we can hopefully get more coverage. So that's where Cass comes in as the media coordinator. So if you ever receive contact from the news, if someone calls you or emails you, please let her know. And we can just be there to back you up and make sure it all goes swimmingly. So, okay. Information that helps us include basic who, what, where, and how. So, await communication from our team regarding interviews, sources, and supporting visuals. Review project draft if applicable once it has gone through our editing process, and be on the lookout for your story in newsletters, news outlets, and more. So, this is talking about after you've submitted that request and we work with you and just seeing it come to fruition. Second, please, I'm trying to change the slide. Okay. So how can we tell the NSU story continued? Press releases. This is my purview and Cass as well, but this is very huge. So a press release, for those of you who do not know, is an official statement delivered to members of the news media for the purpose of providing information, creating an official statement, or making an announcement directed for public release. Public press releases are also considered a primary source, meaning they are original informants for information. So what this does is allows us to exert control of NSU's message. We can target specific reporters or outlets, and it is also cost effective. So it allows us to tell NSU's story firsthand. We gather the information and send the story to reporters and outlets as appropriate, as I mentioned, and we have the ability to target specific audiences by sending the press release to publications, outlets, etc., that we think the story will be relative to. So if we get more eyes on that information that can be considered relevant by others, it's just really important. And we just get to target the right people. Please. So we also tell these stories through written and video testimonials. So written and video testimonials gives viewers an inside look, highlights members of the NSU community, and they are used on social media platforms such as YouTube or even Facebook, and they are also cost effective, which we love. So we have a video testimonial, and this is really Cass's realm, but we are going to play that for you all so that you can just see what we do on this side of things and how powerful and impactful a video testimonial can be. Thank you, Cass. So that was just a brief preview into what we do um, in regards to video testimonials. So, Riverhawks Weekly, now we get to the nitty gritty. This is also something that I spearhead. So, Riverhawks Weekly is a university internal e-newsletter. I'm sure you all have received it or seen it in some capacity. It's sent every Monday during the school year to students, faculty, staff, and NSU retirees. So, stories should be submitted if you guys want to submit any stories. So, please submit those no later than Wednesday to be considered for the next Monday's newsletter. So submissions can be made through the Submit a Story link, and we will share that in the chat. But also you can email me directly, but of course we prefer if you use the request form, but you can also email me, that's fine. And if you have any questions or concerns regarding Riverhawk Weekly, or just want to give us some tips, a heads up, please use that form or email me or call me at extension 2886. Okay. So now we are going to move into additional source. Additional sources. Thank you, Cass. And we are going to talk about the editorial style guide for NSU. So as you can see, the style guide includes a lot of information. So what this is just a compilation of what we use on the daily to compose our press releases, um, man our website, etc. So it's going to tell you what abbreviations to use and how to properly use them, email names and titles, what should be capitalized, what should not be. It will also tell you how to format telephone numbers and refer to university and campus names like buildings on campus, colleges within our university, departments, mascots, and nicknames, etc. And so the style guide is an amalgamation of things. We use AP style, which is standard in our industry, and also Webster's Dictionary for proper spelling and grammatical usage. So I'm not going to go over every single thing, but I think this is a very useful tool. We'll also put that in the chat. And thank you so much, Cass. I think Cass will talk about the media policy very briefly, and I will drop those links in the chat.
So as soon as this loads a little bit, and I will speak on the style guide for another little comment. Sometimes when we send out our proof for a press release before it goes out into the world, we'll send it back to whoever sent us the information or who we use for quotes. Since we do use AP style, we will our our titles will be a little bit different or not capitalized or something of that sort, and that's why because we follow the AP style guide and specifically our style guide. So if you ever have questions about that, you're more than welcome to refer back to our style guide just to see kind of what the differences would be. And then so our media policy, this refers to you as a whole and our institution as a whole. So when we have, say, somebody from Fox 23 wanting to come in and they reach out to you directly, they're actually supposed to go through our department first. So if they reach out to you directly, we do like you to send us an email and let us know. That way, not only can we keep track of our KPIs, but we can also know who's on campus. They do have to abide by our policies as well. And this is just kind of to know who's on campus, know what they're talking about, know what message is getting sent out. Because, I mean, that's what our department handles. So we would love for you to read this. Let us know if you have any questions over it. And like I said, if any media personnel comes to you and wants to do a story, please let us know. And from there, really, that's the end of our presentation. Thank you for um, bearing with us on all our little mishaps, but and we're just going to go ahead and open the room up for questions if anybody has any.
Thanks, guys. This is Jennifer. I just wanted to thank everyone for attending. Thank Cass and Sarah for pulling this together and kind of managing through the hiccups. I can relate to that today. I did want a quick word on sometimes some of our folks will go ahead and work ahead and actually pull together some press releases on their own. That's awesome. That saves us some time. Um, Please know that anything that comes from the university comes from our shop and goes through our shop to the media directly. So if you would just go ahead and stick those press releases in an email to cmprojects@nsuok.edu. We'll go ahead, we'll give it a quick read, we'll tweak it for AP style, and we will get that to our media contacts. I know a lot of our media folks are kind of disciplined, knowing that if it comes from an outside source, they usually just either tell the senders, to please, contact our office. It just kind of keeps everyone on the same page. you know, sometimes it might be an event we didn't even know about, and we can totally maximize that on other platforms. So, just a note about that. You know, we love working with you guys. You know, we appreciate you helping us, knowing that, you know, time is short and student workers are always needed. So, if you have any good ones, please feel free to send them our way as well. I just wanted a quick word on that.
Thank you, Jennifer. Are there any questions, anyone?
And also, if you have any questions that you think of later, you're more than welcome to send us an email, whether that be
Absolutely.
me, Sarah, or Jennifer. We're happy to answer your questions.
And just a note, we will also have this recorded workshop available on our website, nsuok.edu/cm. I do believe there will be a link up in there. You can look at all of our workshops that have happened to date. We do have some upcoming that we will, if they are not already posted, they will be posted on the website for some informative things. We've just had a licensing, we had some graphic design, all kinds of wonderful stuff. So we try to be a one-stop shop. We try to help you guys out. So just keep us in your email, on the phone, letting us know the cool things that are happening in an issue.
Okay. Well, if there's no questions, we'll let you guys all off to enjoy the day. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank
It'll be
you.
good.
Bye.